virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I constitute this gathering a congregation of the University of Cape Town. Please be seated.
Please stand for the National Anthem. Please remain standing whilst I invite a member of our SRC to read the university dedication.
At this time of celebration, we, the members of the University of Cape Town, reaffirm our mission to nurture rational and creative thought and free inquiry, to strive for excellence in teaching and research, to educate for life, and to address the challenges of our society. We undertake to advance these ideals in a spirit of freedom and responsibility and through consultation and debate. We celebrate our benefactors and predecessors, those who have built the fabric and nourished the values of UCT. To those who will graduate today, we wish courage, wisdom, and purpose. To those who will leave the university to learn and work elsewhere, may you be sustained by those values which unite us here today and advance them in the world beyond, a love of truth and of learning, and of this, our university.
You may be seated. I would now like to invite opera singer Sipokasi Maltino George to perform.
saranno vivera sarò, e 100 trappole prima dice che li farò giocare, e 100 trappole prima dice farò giocare, e 100 trappole prima dice e 100 trappole farò giocare. Io sono docile, sono obbediente, mi lascio reggere, mi fa guidare. Se mi toccano dove mi udiamo, saranno vera sarò, e 100 trappole prima di cenere farò giocare, e 100 trappole prima di cenere farò giocare, e 100 trappole prima di cenere e 100 trappole farò giocare, e 100 trappole farò giocare, e 100 trappole farò giocare, farò giocare.
How beautiful was that? I want to introduce you to all our performers this morning, who are all, by the way, either past students of UCT or current students of UCT. The procession was led by Sky Gladla and Black Roots Marimba. They are an ensemble from Gugulethu, made up of South African College of Music students. South African College of Music, if you do not know, is part of the University of Cape Town. They've just returned from a 4-week tour of Maputo, performing and doing marimba workshops with Mozambican artists and children. The poem of praise, the Mbongo, was performed in honor of the graduands, their families, and their teachers by artist, teacher, and UCT Music and Honors graduate in Education graduate Neliswa Sampe, whose stage name is Sange. Neliswa graduated in April this year, and her son is also studying at the South African College of Music. The National Anthem was accompanied on the organ by Alexius Vikatis. Alexius is currently studying a PhD degree in the field of X-ray crystallography in chemistry. His publication was recently selected by the journal Christ Incom for the editor's collection focusing on polymorphism in molecular crystals. Then we had on the piano postgraduate student Yumin Kim, who graduated on the 13th of December this year. He accompanied Sipokazi, who sang the dazzling aria Una voce poco fa from The Barber of Seville by Rossini. Min has performed as a solo pianist with symphony orchestras around the country, and currently he is performing in the hit musical Kinky Boots at the Fugate Theatre. Sipokazi has won international prizes as a soloist and participated in the prestigious International Belvedere Singing Competition in Latvia in June. And if you'd like to hear Sipokazi sing in an opera, then book for the UCT Opera School's production of Così fan tutti by Mozart in the Baxter Theatre next year. I would like to give them, or invite you to give them all a round of applause. Vice-Chancellor, Prof. Mageti Pamkaking. Oh, I am not. I think the Vice-Chancellor just returned from a week away, and so in the meantime, I've forgotten her name. Mamgeti Pakeng, Deputy Chair of Council, Debbie Badlenter, our guest speaker, Dr. Kula, the Interim Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences, Professor Williamson, our colleagues on the platform, guest this morning in the audience, and of course, the reason we are here, the graduates. Good morning and welcome to this ceremony. This is our final ceremony of the December graduation cycle, and it's a wonderful day, not of course only for the graduates, because it means it's the end of their journey at UCT for now, but it's also a good day and a big day for you as the family and the partners who've supported them, and for the teachers here on the platform who walked the journey with them. And so we are honored to be here this morning and to celebrate this morning with you. But we are also honored to have a guest speaker this morning, and I would now like to introduce our guest speaker to you, Dr. Dumani Kula. Dr. Dumani Kula is originally from Dansane, a township just outside of East London. He's an alum of UCT. He completed his MBCHB at UCT in 2000. Thereafter, he completed an internship and community service in East London, whereafter he left the country for the UK. With an interest to become a cardiologist, he completed an MRCP Part 1 whilst doing an MBA in international management as well. His interest in business management quickly grew, and after about 7 years of clinical practice and the MBA completed, he started his corporate career at Discovery Health. Over a period of 8 years, he moved from being a junior manager to an executive. He was responsible for strategy and risk management for 18 medical schemes, including the Discovery Health medical scheme. He currently serves as the Deputy CEO of Clinix Health Group, which is a pioneer in bringing affordable quality care to previously underserved communities. He is responsible for strategies and operations in this role. Dumani is married with 2 children. He speaks and writes on leadership and personal development, and he's the published author of a book, I Am Pregnant. I now invite Dr. Kula to address us.
Good morning, everybody. I think I should start off with some disclaimers. First on the list is that whilst I used to work for Discovery Health, I will not be taking any inquiries on outstanding claims. I left that job 3 years ago. I should also make another disclaimer. As I was driving into the campus this morning, it was just an amazing feeling, perhaps of nostalgia. I haven't been on campus for some time, and of course, I was last on stage here about 20 years ago now, and it was just a great feeling to be able to come up the campus this morning. One of the things, of course, is that I was looking around and I saw Leo Marquardt. I stayed at Marquardt for about 4 years. I saw Forest Hill on our way up, and of course, I saw Rhodes Memorial. And as we were driving through, I was looking out for the Rhodes statue, and I couldn't find it this morning. And then it occurred to me that this is the generation this is the Fees Must Fall generation, and that the statue no longer is here. I have to make a confession that when we were here, and I came to UCT in 1995, so you can imagine that it was a different time. When we were here, we were just glad to be here. And unlike this generation that has been quite aggressive, and I want to salute that generation of Fees Must Fall. Vice-Chancellor, actually our generation perpetuated the TBVC states. So at Marquardt we had a homeland system. So when you went into the dining hall, you'll find the Xhosas together, you'll find the Tswanas together, and the vendors were eating together. So we had our own homeland system even at Marquardt. Let me make another disclaimer that I had planned, and honestly I had planned that by the end of this decade, I would have done another degree, and I would be able to come back to UCT and walk on the stage. And of course, thanks to the Vice-Chancellor, I'm back on the stage, but I'm not having a degree. But I think I now have another 10 years to do that degree. So at least I've ended this decade having been on the stage. That was the goal. Allow me to acknowledge the Vice-Chancellor, Prof. Mamokgethi Phakeng, the UCT Council members, UCT Executive, SRC representative, academic staff that are represented here. I must say, when I looked at the academic staff, I could only recognize two people, Professor Graham Lowe. And Professor Graham Lowe is a legend, you know. He's an absolute legend. And the other person that I recognized was Professor Cynthia Sikakane. And I did make the confession earlier that unfortunately I cannot remember any of the other people in the academic staff. But I think it's because after first year of attending biochemistry and second year of attending anatomy, after that I did not attend many lectures. Past staff, graduating students, parents, ladies and gentlemen, let me also congratulate the latest crop of healthcare professionals that are being honored today. I congratulate you for your hard work and salute your families and friends who have supported you through the years. As this chapter of your academic career closes, we are also nearing the end of another calendar year and getting ready to wrap up the second decade of the 21st century. It is therefore a good time to pause and reflect on the year that has just gone by. For our beloved country, this has certainly been a very challenging year. Throughout the year, we have been bombarded by depressing news of an ailing economy. Our state-owned enterprises have made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Experiencing load shedding in the middle of summer, which extended to stage 6 for the first time, was a new low for the country. Considering the troubles at SAA, PRASA, and the like, it will appear that we are fast running out of runway with no light at the end of the tunnel. As if these man-made troubles were not enough, the country has been dealing with the devastating consequences of the drought that has left rivers dry, grazing lands parched, and livestock wasted. I have family members in the Eastern Cape whose water taps have gone dry since the drought. We have also seen and heard of heart-wrenching stories of violent crimes in our country, the likes of the case of Ramabulana in Limpopo recently, 4 children who were killed by their own father in KZN, and of course here at UCT, UCT was brought into the spotlight following the murder of Uyine and Mkhwetyane. On the career front, you will be entering a public health sector that is grossly under-resourced and overburdened. You will be stretched with what at times will feel like is beyond the realm of human capabilities. You are also entering the field shortly after the publication of the National Health Insurance Bill and the final report of the Health Market Inquiry. These are long-awaited policy documents that, if implemented, will lead to fundamental changes in how healthcare is structured and funded in the country. In the last few weeks, we have seen unprecedented developments in our country, as for the first time, an obstetrician in Mpumalanga has been imprisoned, and a pediatric surgeon and an anesthesiologist were charged with culpable homicide following alleged medical negligence. This is the world you are entering in 2020. Yet, in the midst of this gloom and doom, we also have reasons to celebrate, as many hard-working health professionals continue to defy the odds, providing healthcare to our communities under the most strenuous circumstances. Some of these outstanding individuals are seated with us today. At an economic level, we are also seeing a reinvigoration of the key state institutions and policy shifts that are aimed at getting the economy going again. The country recently hosted the second round of the annual SA Investment Conference, which saw additional investment commitments of close to 400 billion in various industries. In May 2019, we also witnessed another smooth political transition with the 6th national and provincial elections. We must never take this for granted, given Africa's history. On the sporting front, we also experienced a strong wave of euphoria and patriotism take over the country following a successful campaign that the national team had at the Rugby World Cup. Of course, the crowning of Zozibini as Miss Universe only 2 weeks ago, watching her dominate at a global platform, it's just been phenomenal. As a country, we have moved from extremes of agony and anguish to extremes of celebration and elation. Ours is a country of perpetual extremes, extremes of poverty, but also extremes of wealth. In the political arena, we have both the extreme right and the extreme left. I am tempted to look behind me, but I will not. At an individual level, we also live our lives constantly navigating opposing extremes. One day we wake up ready to conquer the world, and on another day we are dreading the very thought of the day ahead. In one moment we are praying for rain, and in another we watch in despair as scores are left homeless following flash floods. We move between having and not having, getting and not getting, promoted and overlooked, loved and unloved, accepted and rejected. These are the vicissitudes of life we need to contend with daily, taking both the highs and the lows, celebrating success whilst using temporary setbacks to recalibrate, only to charge forward again. For stars shine the brightest when they are up against the blackness of the night sky. We are on top of our game when we can deal with both the ups and the downs, the mountains and the valleys. For life consists of triumphs that come wrapped up in trials. To get to the triumph, you must go through the trial. The journey of a pregnant woman is a phenomenon that we are familiar with, that embodies and articulates these extremes of life very well. While pregnancy is a journey of expectation and growth, it is characterized by aches and pains from the first to the third trimester. Headaches, backaches, abdominal pains, as the growing baby places increasing demands on the expectant mother. In the labor ward, the baby goes through extremes of flexion and extension, and extremes of internal and external rotation. You can see that I attended that lecture properly. I remember that. I must say, one of the things I've learned, and they didn't explain my MBA. My MBA is Masters by Association. So every time I have a friend who graduates, I master by association. So that's why afterwards I'll be going for that gentleman who has pursuing that PhD in crystallography in the field of polymorphism. He's going to be my friend. For many women, in the process of giving birth, they are literally caught up between life and death. To help them understand, anticipate, and successfully manage these extremes, most women, they employ the services of a midwife. And as you go into the next phase of your lives, I want to suggest to you to secure yourself at least one person who you can rely on as a midwife, commonly known as a mentor. You will achieve more faster in the company of a midwife. All things being equal, mentors are what determine whether you will slowly climb up the career ladder in a predictable fashion or be amongst those who seemingly jump the queue on their way to success. For it is a mentor who helps to crystallize and shape your vision of the future, even as the midwife does for the expectant mother in those first few weeks of pregnancy. It is a mentor who affirms you during those critical moments of vulnerability and doubt. When you feel defeated, down and out, it is your mentor who will help breathe new life into your dream. Now that you have acquired a professional skill to take to the field and that your talent has been sharpened for the market, it is a midwife who will provide the platform for your gift to be brought forth and shine. And I can tell you that there are lots of people who are gifted and talented, but they lack the platform for their own gifts to shine. It is a midwife who will see the first signs of your baby's readiness to come out. It is your midwife who will point out the first signs of emerging greatness. For we rely on those closest to us to confirm the external signs of what we feel on the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, it is really at the height and the extremes of the labor pains that the midwife becomes so desperately needed, faced with increasing intensity and frequency of the contractions that are necessary to get the baby out. It is your mentor who will guide you on when and how to push. Ignoring your midwife at this critical stage, the moment of birthing your dream, can lead to permanent damage and fatal consequences for both you and your most important aspirations in life. And just as you transition from one phase of life to another, being a student into working environment, from being junior to being senior, from being single to being married, it is the midwife who will help cut the umbilical cord so that what fed you inside doesn't snuff the life out of you once you are outside. And of course, whilst you are the one who is responsible to carry the baby for those 9 months, it is a midwife, your mentor, your coach, close family and friends who will help you to carry and cover that baby in those first few moments after birth as you recover from the punches that life will throw at you in the process of giving birth. I would like to pay tribute to the mentors in the room, the midwives in the room, who have helped you navigate the difficult years of being at medical school. In particular, I would like to acknowledge the Vice Chancellor for her leadership at this great institution. Ma'am, there is a reason that many call you the Deputy Mother of the nation. You have been that midwife to thousands of people, including some who have never seen the doors of a university. Hearty congratulations again to all of you for what you have achieved so far. I look forward to seeing you in the field as we strengthen our country's health system. It's now your time to push. Thank you.
Dr. Kula, I think that applause is a sign that people really appreciated your words. Thank you for reminding us of the complexity of the extremes that we are currently navigating politically, socially, environmentally. But thank you also for your inspiring words to the graduates. You've made me realize that I missed out by not having a midwife. But you've also reminded me that I've had midwives throughout my career, and I think those words really rang true, and I would really invite the graduates to take those words of insight and wisdom to heart. And then finally, I just want to let you know we're not going to wait 10 years to have you back. We'll invite you back much, much sooner, and I think in particular to Leo Marquardt, so that you can see what new Marquardt looks like today. Thank you once again. I now invite the Interim Dean of Health Sciences to the podium.
Sambonani. Sambonani. Thank you very much. My name is Ambroise Wonkam. I'm the Deputy Dean for Research. Obviously, I'm not the Interim Dean for the Faculty of Health Science. And I have the pleasure, through Professor Kaulani Williamson, to lead the proceeding for this section. I was honored to be graduated as a doctor in 1994, which is an important year for this country and an important year for Africa. It was also a year where me as a person could not travel in this country for the reason you can imagine. So my presence here today on this stage is signs of times and positive times. So I'm really glad and honored to be here. I will invite, based on the text that I have in front of me, people that are here, you and some on the stage. The practice of health profession carries with a duty to humanity. Chancellor, I have the honor to invite all of those graduating in the Faculty of Health Science today and all of health professionals present in the congregation to stand. To stand and to join me in making the Health Science Declaration. Those of you that were not clinically trained are invited to pledge adherence to the provision in the declaration that do not relate to the clinical practice. Please read with me. For those that do not have the text, it's in the blue book on page 4. If everyone is ready, I solemnly pledge to serve humanity. My most important considerations will be the health of patients and the health of their communities. I will not permit considerations of age, gender, race, religion, ethnic origin, sexual orientation, disease, disability, or any other to adversely affect the care I have given to patients. I will uphold human rights and civil liberties to advance health, even under threat. I will engage patients and colleagues as partners in healthcare. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity. I will respect the confidentiality of patients, present or past, living or deceased. I will value research and will guide it by its conduct by the highest ethical standard. I will commit myself to lifelong learning. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Be seated. It's not me, it's the Vice Chancellor, right? Okay.
By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I admit that to the degree specified the candidates recorded as in absentia, and I shall now admit to the degree specified the candidates to be presented to me.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery with a distinction in Clinical Sciences, Mohammed Makiel Abdul. With distinction in Basic Sciences and Clinical Sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Aisha Abdul Ahmed. With distinction in the Clinical Sciences, Ziad Adam. Kelly Amber Aronsa. With distinction in the Clinical Sciences, Lika Ali. Denisa Asamoah Bekwai. Caitlin Ray Ball. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Raffaella Berghammer Boomer. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Ilya Grace Bishop. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Londeka Nomfundu Bayela. Michaela Louise Bredenkamp. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Nicole Tracy Britton. Yamkela Nyabelele. Sorry. With the distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Caitlin Patricia Cattell. Chimwemwe Jessica Chibambo. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Michelle Tipiwa Chatate. Indepile Temele. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honors, Jessica Lee Kutsia. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Nicholas Alexander Kotchabos. Carol Ann Cunningham. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Sarah Lee Claire Curtis. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Gerard Grant Dalton. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Thamina Davids. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Syed Mohammed Danse. Well done. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Elizabeth Dodds. Hi. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Ian Cameron Douglas. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Dahist Dasruth. Ashley Mercedes Dwarika. With distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Leah Francis Edkins. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Iham Isak. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Simon John Abers. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Lauren Pereline Fagan. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Rakaya Javier. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Milan Ravi Gaja. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Osea Ghani. Lushavia Govender. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Adelia Govender. Rudashan Govender. Tamron Green. Nazakat Gazgai. Hamina Hashim. With distinction in clinical sciences, Heidelzahn Hay. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Abigail Rose Hobbs. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Lance Douglas Hoffman. Ruan Hallambe. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Jessica Kathleen Irvin. With distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Muhammad Makidul Islam. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Anna Lorraine Jacobs. Thabit Jacobs. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Jasmika Jagannath. Ridhard Jarwitz. With a distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Gina Claudia Karam. Lefa Lydia Kakana. Luca Kennedy. With distinction in clinical sciences, So-Mang Kim. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honors, Blake James Klug. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Jessica Louise Kuhn. Enrique Kraus. With a distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Caroline Salome Kruger. Tane Leng. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honors, Ken Jeremy Ree Wan Po. With a distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Eden Rebecca Lurie. With distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Wakita Caesar Maboso. Mulelwa Helen Maboke. Sinambongwe Mate Kisawayo. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Jonathan Andrew McKay. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Toriso Gugu Mafiza. Nontando Yamana Komose Nankumpila Magubane. Megan Marilak. Thank you. Nico Matembula. Letang Manache. Letang Manache Matrala. Sayabukwa Aviva Mayalo. With distinction in clinical sciences, Benazer Mohammed. Lukman Mohammed. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Zahra Mohammed. Tumiso Omolemo Mahlatsi. Nicole Lolo Mongwe. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Divyan Moodley. Bonesile Bobo Intombeni. Well-beloved DeCarlo Monanyiwa. Faith Masoke. Okay. With distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Ashna Nagindas. Ane. Ane. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Priyanka Naidu. Lubabalu Miliswa Hope Indabula. Nobochle Michelle Ndlovu. Intombe Kayise Ngaba. Sherpo Ngobeni. Nikhil Nundla, sorry. Musa Omar. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Nazia Parker. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Mihil Patel. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Michaela Paper. Cyan Paper. Simone Renee Pillay. Kanyisa Pinda. With distinction, I'm sorry. With distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Kanyisa Pinda. Capano Sharon Pizzo. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Jessica Jane Pollock. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Matthew Wade Potter. Nakisa Yoweri Huma. with distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Jennifer Sarah Rackstraw. With distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Ratang Manaha Matlala. I'm sorry. Sorry. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Olga Rademan. Riona Ramanand. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Simon John Roach. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Muassam Akbar Rawood. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Danica Sharon Richards. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Stephanie Marie Roche. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Michael John Mark Rosley. Pascal Notisekelelo Saneka. Clonipo Sarila. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Francis Xavier Score. Lebohang Juliet Sesrabo. Look at the audience. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honours, Pomzile Shandu. With distinction With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Nicole Lolo Mongwe. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Julia Mary Rose Sharples. Kensani Dorothy Shilote. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Carl Peter Sinclair. Erin Roberta Smallberg. Ahmad Mohammed Sani. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honors, Ruan Spears. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Emily K. Street. With distinction in the clinical sciences and degree with honors, Kelly Ann Sweetman. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Graham Mark Tashner. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Safia Tayob. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences and the degree with first-class honors, Matthew Alexander Tawota Norde. Julia Frances Hammond Took. Tamzeen Trevor. Hilary Chikolomo. Dincle. Oh, sorry. With distinction in sorry. With distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honors, Dintle Chachalemo Sitsi. Anthea Nandipa Taliti. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Amina Vali. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences, and the degree with first-class honours, Stefan van der Walt. With distinction in the clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Chloe Laura van der Westhuizen. With the distinction in clinical sciences and the degree with honours, Kurtji Veach. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Marie Vermaak. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences, and the degree with first-class honours, Benjamin Walker. Kayla William. With distinction in the clinical sciences, Danielle Hope Williams. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences, and the degree with first-class honours, Fabienne Catherine Witz-Hewenson. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences, and the degree with first-class honours, Nina Charlotte Voorman. With distinction in the basic sciences and clinical sciences, and the degree with first-class honours, Jean-Marie Zita Zachenberger.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? Just. But let me start by thanking Dr. Dumani Kula for the wonderful speech. It was amazing. And it's always great for us to have graduates, UCT graduates, coming back to talk to the graduating class. Because just first of all, in reading your CV, we give them a sense of what's possible out there, that they're here and there's a road ahead and they have a choice. And your story is an example, it's just one example of what they can be from here. Your success as a UCT graduate is also a success. So we watch you from afar, we take joy as you rise. And when people don't know us, they look at you and they say, look at UCT. So thank you for giving us that good name. Thank you. And thank you so much for honoring us this morning with your speech. But you, the graduating class of 2019, amazing. I mean, you know, I'm so glad I came all the way back just for this graduation ceremony. I know you've been watching me. I know. I'm back just for this graduation ceremony. You know, it's amazing, so many distinctions. And then again, I'm sitting here, you're getting distinctions, you look amazing. The style, the earrings, the hairstyles, the dresses, no one even fell, no one even wobbled. I mean, you even know how to walk the high heels, girls. Come on! This is amazing, well done! You know, when they say Uskaba Hemisa, they mean your group, your type, you know. They mean your type. You give it in all departments. Well done. Congratulations for your wonderful success. It's really great to see you here, and we are glad that you have achieved this much. No doubt you have reached a mountaintop today. You persisted to get here, and we are so pleased to be part of your journey. But of course, we know that as much as you worked hard, I mean, not only did you work hard, I mean, you also had to make sure that you get into UCT. And I'm sure you know what it takes to get into medical school at UCT, that it's a long queue. Even people who don't get accepted qualify, but there's just too many, and so only few come in, and you made it. And then you get here, and then you've got to work hard. As hard as you have worked, you didn't get here alone. There are parents, family, friends, loved ones who supported you. Some of them are broke here today because you're graduating. They have loans, they paid your fees, they send you money, they gave you monthly stipends, they stood by you through hard times, through tough times. They were there for you. I want you to stand, try to identify where they are, wave your scroll towards them, just as a sign of appreciation for the support that they've granted you. Please stand, do that standing. Fantastic. This is the favorite part of the ceremony. You've got to wave that scroll like there's no tomorrow. Come on, keep standing. Keep standing, ladies and gentlemen. You know, today you are doctors, man. Come on, keep standing. This is the point where we test whether you still listen to the VC or not. Please keep standing. Just keep standing, please. Just and relax. Just keep standing. I'm still talking. Just keep standing. Just relax. I mean, you are doctors today. You're going to give a lot of instructions, right? You know, the many people who supported you, your parents, your family, and so on, these are the people who, you know, if you come from the township like I do, right, where the mother will be talking somewhere in some street or in some society. My daughter is a doctor. And then, of course, sometimes, depending on the strategies to encourage others, some which work, some don't work. Some of you will be in families where the mother starts saying, Lerato can sleep, she's a doctor. Nina nilala kanjani? Vuga! Ulala kanjani ungena degree or ungekho doctor? Vuga. So today, you are the example. Your areas are going to support, are going to look at you as examples, celebrate you, and so on and so forth. So that's why I want you to thank these people. But you wouldn't be here if the people on stage were not there, if they didn't do their job. So many years. I mean, you stay a long time at university. And there are academics who come day in, day out to teach you. Whether you are nice or not, they have to be there. They mark your assignments, they prepare the lectures, they mark the assignments, the good ones, the bad ones. They give you tasks. Whether you are nice, nasty, rude to them, they have to be back the following day. And today they're celebrating with you. I want you to show some love to the academics on stage with your scrolls again. It's always a little quieter with academics, but that's okay. Sit down. Have a seat. No, don't sit yet. Can I ask now everyone to stand? Everyone to stand. I want us to thank a special group of people. This standing is in honor of all our professional admin and support staff. These are staff members who house, they feed our students in residences, they maintain our university campuses, and they run our administrative processes so that all of us can get on with academic work whose outputs we're celebrating today. There are also staff members who have worked very hard to ensure that this ceremony proceeds smoothly. They cleaned the hall, they set up the tables, everything, the flowers that you see, the carpet that you see here wasn't here yesterday, it's not always here. Set it all up for us, and I want us to clap hands for them, just in honor for the work that they do. Thank you. Thank you very much. You may be seated. You too may be seated, dear doctors. Thank you. Thank you. This day signifies a new beginning in each and every one of you. In addition to earning the diploma or the degree that was conferred upon you today, you've also earned the right to be associated with a very special group of people, and that's the Convocation of the University of Cape Town. Convocation acts as an official channel that allows members, its members are academic staff and the alumni, it allows them to convey to the university management their views about the university. Dr. Kula talked about your generation, the generation that feels empowered, that's got a voice. That voice doesn't have to die out because you live in the university. You have convocation that provides that opportunity for you to voice your concerns, your appreciation, or any suggestions you have to the management about your university. Convocation leads the election of the chancellor. So we have a new chancellor starting on January 1st, 2020, and it's the convocation that led the appointment of that chancellor. Convocation also has representation on council, and in that way, it has got a voice in the appointment of the university executive. So when the vice-chancellor gets appointed, Convocation has got a voice through council. So join us on our online platform, UCT Alumni Connect. Just go online, Google UCT Alumni Connect, and make sure, because with that Alumni Connect, you'll be informed about what is happening in your alma mater. And you'll be kept up to date on the events that are taking place in your city, alumni events. We have alumni events happening all over the country and all over the world. You'll be informed if you get onto Alumni Connect, wherever you are in the world. Alumni Connect will also help you connect with other UCT graduates around the world and to grow your professional network. It might not look relevant now, but having a professional network is truly very important. And if you get onto Alumni Connect, you'll connect with other UCT alumni, over 170,000 of them all over the world. You can connect with them, you've got the same badge, and I've had many stories of young graduates whose careers have been enabled by others who graduated in the 70s or the 80s, who they didn't even know, but because they got together on UCT Alumni Connect, they got to help one another. So join us on there. Keep your details updated with us so that we can keep in touch with you. Before you leave, I know, 2 days, you have Christmas. 3 pieces of advice from me before you leave. Number 1, your graduation is an achievement. It's an achievement that not everyone receives. So I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to look around. I want you to remember this feeling and hold it. Because this feeling is your moment of power. And moments of power are important in our lives because there'll be times when you feel weak or when the world beats you down. It does that to all of us. It beats you down, it beats you up, it tells you you're not worthy, it tells you you don't deserve an opportunity or favor or anything. And when those times come, you need to call on your moments of power. And this is one of them. Keep collecting your moments of power so that you can go to them when you need them. But also remember that this achievement comes with a whole lot of responsibility, because with every great achievement comes great responsibility and great expectation. The responsibility and expectation that you will play your part. You will do what you can to help not only those that help you to get where you are at today, but also to help shape the future of our country and our world. Number 2, you are now a graduate of a great university, this great university called UCT. And yes, I said great university. I didn't say perfect university, because let me tell you something. There is no perfect university, but there are great universities, and ours is a great university. You have a degree from one of the top universities in the world, the best that Africa has to offer. You have acquired, yes, you can clap hands. By the way, when you leave, it matters a lot. I know when you are inside, you don't like that phrase. When you go out, it opens the doors. So you have a degree from one of the top universities in the world. You have acquired magnificent friends and astonishing peers. You have been trained by the best scholars. And you have also earned the support of an institution that will stand by you throughout your careers. But there's an expectation. You see, great universities stand for truth. And the pursuit of truth demands consistent effort, because truth has to be discovered. It has to be revealed through argument and experiment, tested in the midst of opposing explanations and ideas, not by silencing opposing explanations and ideas. And this is precisely the function of a great university. In our statement of values as UCT, we have committed ourselves to intellectual honesty, to rigor in debate, to openness to alternative ideas, and respect for other views, respect for other ways of being, because there isn't just one way of being. There are many ways of being. And we've committed ourselves to respect for those different ways of being, different beliefs and different opinions. So with the growing intolerance and polarization in the world, my hope is that you, the UCT graduate, will serve as an embodiment of our university values. You will continue with this understanding and this respect for different ways of being, different ways of believing, different opinions, and not silence other opposing views. Hear them and sharpen your own. My hope is that you will do that as you go on to make a meaningful contribution to our community and to the wider world. Number 3, and finally, my dear graduates, let me be frank with you. I know that today is great, and some of you may be sitting here thinking you've had the best time of your life at university. Now that it's ending, you've bonded with your buddies, and you think, well, I've had the best years of my life. Well, actually not, because the best years of your life are still very much ahead of you, and they can be whatever you want them to be. Your work, your life, your weekdays, your weekends can all be filled with as much meaning as you dictate. So as you go off to start new jobs or new graduate programs, or maybe you already have a career, or maybe you have 1 million followers on Twitter or Instagram and you don't even need my advice. Whatever your next chapter is, define it by being true to your authentic self. Feel it with meaning. Fill your life with meaning. Define what success means to you. Because if you don't define what success means to you, someone else will. They will not tell you that they're doing it, but they will define what success means, and they will hand it over to you and expect you to live by it. So define what success means to you, and go out there and pursue it ethically, and make sure that you also have fun whilst at it, because life is too short. You're not going to be 25 again, you won't be 29 again, or, like some of us, you won't be 54 again. So have fun whilst pursuing your success and doing it ethically and well. And I know you can do that. After all, you are now a UCT graduate, or should I say UCT doctor. Congratulations.
For me, also, congratulations. I must say, the registrar whose office organizes the graduation ceremony was very nervous about today's ceremony. Because I don't know if everybody knows it, but this was, in a way, a pilot, or a first. Because this is the first time that the graduates walked across the stage and not on the bottom in front of the stage. And so, whilst this is the end of the graduation season, you were the first to do this. So he was very concerned about, is this going to work out? Is anybody going to fall down? And so, thank you for making this first a success. He was also concerned because he said it's 2 days before Christmas. Everybody is on leave. Everybody is tired. They're not going to want to come to graduation. And so he said, we're not going to have a platform party. It's just going to be you and the VC, and it's going to be a disaster. So thank you for the lecturers for showing up. And then he said, it's only a small class. The hall is going to be half empty. The parents are not going to show up because it's 2 days before Christmas. They have to do shopping. But thank you for showing up. And then finally, he was concerned because he said, it's only one group of students. It's a small group of graduates. There's not going to be an atmosphere. But I think I can now send him a WhatsApp and say, you can now rest assured that we had a wonderful atmosphere. And I particularly want to acknowledge and recognize the way in which you as a class who has walked the long journey with each other, acknowledged each other, but also supported those graduates in this moment who had to be supported in a very particular way. Thank you so much. So at the end of the ceremony, there is a function in the Leslie building, which is to my right, and we invite all of you, your family, your partners, your loved ones to join us for that function. And then I'm also inviting the graduates to join the procession as it leaves the hall. And then you can proceed to the bottom of the steps as far as University Avenue to take your pictures. I now ask the Vice-Chancellor to dissolve the congregation. Please stand. The graduates will actually stay behind. Because there is a prize-giving ceremony, and so we will leave, those of us that is not part of the prize-giving, and the rest of everyone will stay.
The parents stay. It's a wonderful celebration that's going to follow. The people who are leaving because they are not invited. And the people who are staying are going to have even a much better fun time. So enjoy the prize-giving ceremony. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of Cape Town.